1. Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson, nicknamed The Answer, was one of the most electrifying guards in NBA history, earning over $200 million from contracts and endorsements. Despite his immense talent, Iverson's financial downfall became legendary. Lavish spending habits, entourages, legal issues, and a bitter divorce drained his wealth. He once admitted carrying around duffel bags full of cash, showing little concern for saving or investing. By retirement, Iverson faced reports of bankruptcy, although a $30 million trust fund from Reebok saved him from total ruin. His story highlights the dangers of sudden wealth and the inability to adapt when the spotlight fades. Iverson remains beloved by fans, but his post-career struggles show how quickly fortunes can vanish in professional sports. 2. Antoine Walker. Antoine Walker, a flashy all-star forward, earned an incredible $108 million during his NBA career. Known for his three-point shooting and championship run with the Miami Heat in 2006, Walker's post-career life spiraled. Gambling addictions, poor money management, and bad real estate investments wiped out his fortune within 2 years of retirement. By 2010, Walker filed for bankruptcy, reporting $12 million in debts against $4 million in assets. Unlike some players, he tried rebuilding his life, becoming a financial advisor to warn younger athletes about the pitfalls of wealth. Walker's story is a cautionary tale of how unchecked spending and risky ventures can erase even 9-figure earnings, leaving behind regret and lessons about financial discipline. 3. Latrell Sprewell. Latrell Sprewell, once a feared scorer and elite defender, made over $96 million in his NBA career. Yet, his name often surfaces in conversations about athletes who lost everything. Famously, Sprewell turned down a 3-year, $21 million contract, saying it wasn't enough to feed his family. Soon after, his career declined sharply and financial troubles mounted. Luxury yachts were repossessed, homes went into foreclosure, and he faced multiple lawsuits. His fiery reputation, cemented by the infamous 1997 incident of choking coach P.J. Carlesimo, didn't help secure post-retirement opportunities. Sprewell's downfall serves as a stark example of arrogance, poor financial planning, and the dangers of believing money will never stop flowing, even when a career is cut short. 4. Shawn Kemp. The Rain Man was a 6-time All-Star who dazzled fans in the 90s with thunderous dunks. He earned roughly $90 million in his career, but his lifestyle quickly consumed his wealth. Kemp fathered at least 7 children with 6 women, leading to massive child support payments. Combined with substance abuse issues, legal troubles, and failed comeback attempts, his financial stability collapsed. Kemp reportedly spent heavily on cars, jewelry, and parties, without setting aside funds for retirement. By the time his playing days ended, he had little left. Recently, Kemp has appeared in marijuana business ventures, attempting to rebuild. His legacy is bittersweet, on-court brilliance overshadowed by personal decisions that led to financial ruin. 5. Vin Baker. Vin Baker was a 4-time All-Star and Olympic gold medalist who earned over $100 million during his NBA career. But behind the scenes, Baker battled alcoholism, which derailed both his playing career and finances. Lavish spending, combined with poor investments and enabling advisors, left him bankrupt within years of retirement. At one point, he was forced to auction his possessions and even worked at Starbucks to stay afloat. While humiliating to some, Baker used that moment to reset his life. Eventually, he found stability, becoming a minister and later an assistant coach with the Milwaukee Bucks. His story is one of painful collapse, but also redemption, showing that recovery is possible even after losing everything. 6. Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman, the Worm, was one of the NBA's greatest rebounders, winning 5 championships and earning millions. Yet, his eccentric lifestyle and personal struggles drained his fortune. Rodman spent heavily on partying, exotic trips, and impulsive purchases, while his marriages and child support battles further eroded his finances. Despite earning over $27 million from NBA contracts and millions more in endorsements, Rodman admitted being nearly broke at times. His friendship with North Korea's Kim Jong-un made headlines, but did little to stabilize his financial life. Though still a cultural icon, Rodman's story illustrates how fame, addiction, and poor financial management can strip away wealth quickly. His legacy remains more controversial off the court than on it. 7. Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen, the legendary Chicago Bulls forward, earned about $120 million in contracts and endorsements, yet financial missteps left him struggling. Known as Michael Jordan's running mate during 6 championships, Pippen was underpaid for much of his career, signing a long-term, low-value deal early on. Post-retirement, disastrous investments drained his fortune, most notably a $4 million loss on a private jet that never functioned. Legal disputes with advisors further hurt his finances. Although he later recovered through broadcasting and NBA ambassador work, Pippen's story highlights the consequences of poor contract choices and misplaced trust in financial managers. Despite his greatness on the court, his financial battles remind fans that even legends can make costly mistakes. 8. Kenny Anderson. Kenny Anderson, a flashy point guard drafted second overall in 1991, earned around $60 million in his NBA career. However, his lack of financial discipline and chaotic personal life led to bankruptcy soon after retirement. Anderson fathered at least 7 children with multiple women, paying enormous child support. He also spent recklessly on cars, houses, and jewelry, often without realizing how quickly his wealth was vanishing. By 2005, Anderson filed for bankruptcy, citing poor management and overwhelming debts. Unlike many, he has since tried to rebuild his life, working as a coach and mentor. Anderson's story is one of wasted potential, financial recklessness, and the harsh reality athletes face when careers end abruptly. 9. Eddy Curry. Eddy Curry, a towering center drafted 4th overall in 2001, earned nearly $70 million during his career. However, bad financial management and personal tragedies led him toward ruin. Curry borrowed millions at outrageous interest rates, trusted shady advisors, and was sued for unpaid debts. His lavish lifestyle included multiple homes and luxury cars he couldn't maintain. At one point, his Chicago mansion faced foreclosure, and he owed hundreds of thousands in unpaid loans. Off-court issues, including personal loss and health struggles, deepened his downfall. Curry's story illustrates how sudden wealth without guidance can evaporate. Although he found modest stability later overseas, his career remains defined by squandered opportunities and financial collapse. 10. Derrick Coleman. Derrick Coleman, a former number 1 overall pick and versatile power forward, earned over $87 million in his NBA career. Despite that wealth, poor investments, bankruptcies, and legal battles left him broke. Coleman invested heavily in Detroit real estate projects that failed, draining much of his fortune. Combined with reckless spending on cars and luxury items, his financial collapse was inevitable. By 2010, he filed for bankruptcy, citing millions in liabilities. Although Coleman briefly worked in community programs and mentoring, his name is often mentioned among NBA cautionary tales. His downfall shows that even highly talented players can lose everything without financial foresight, discipline, or sustainable post-career planning to support life after basketball. 11. Delonte West. Delonte West, once a solid NBA guard and teammate of LeBron James, earned around $16 million in his career. But mental health struggles, substance abuse, and poor financial decisions left him destitute. West battled bipolar disorder, which worsened as his career declined. Divorce, legal troubles, and child support obligations drained his earnings. By the mid-2000s, shocking images surfaced of West homeless and panhandling, sparking widespread concern. Though he attempted brief comebacks in overseas leagues, his troubles continued. In 2020, Mark Cuban personally intervened, helping him enter rehab. West's tragic story shows how mental illness and lack of support can devastate athletes, proving that financial loss is often tied to deeper personal struggles. 12. Chris Washburn. Chris Washburn was a highly touted 1986 NBA draft pick, selected 3rd overall by the Golden State Warriors. Despite enormous potential, his career and finances collapsed almost immediately. Washburn struggled with drug addiction, leading to multiple suspensions. In just 2 years, he played only 72 games before receiving a lifetime NBA ban for failing 3 drug tests. His $1 million plus salary was quickly spent, leaving him broke after his playing days ended. Washburn later admitted he lost everything to cocaine addiction, even pawning personal belongings to survive. Although he eventually found stability working with rehabilitation programs, his name became synonymous with wasted talent. His downfall remains one of the NBA's earliest cautionary tales about drugs and money. 13. Jayson Williams. Jayson Williams, once a powerful rebounder and all-star with the New Jersey Nets, earned tens of millions during his NBA career. However, tragedy and poor choices led to ruin. In 2002, Williams accidentally shot and killed his limo driver while showing off a shotgun at his mansion. The incident led to years of legal battles, prison time, and massive lawsuits that drained his finances. Alcohol abuse worsened his situation, leading to arrests and rehab stints. Despite once being a respected player and analyst, Williams' reputation and wealth collapsed. Though he later found redemption through recovery programs and speaking engagements, his story shows how one reckless act can destroy both a fortune and a career. 14. Darius Miles. Darius Miles, drafted straight out of high school in 2000, was seen as a future superstar. Over his NBA career, he earned more than $62 million. Unfortunately, poor money management and injuries derailed both his career and finances. Miles invested heavily in risky ventures, spent recklessly, and trusted the wrong people with his finances. By 2016, he filed for bankruptcy, listing $1.5 million in assets against $4 million in debts. He auctioned personal items, including his championship rings. Post-career, Miles transitioned into podcasting and media, but his NBA riches were long gone. His story reflects how fast young athletes can lose control of sudden wealth, especially when careers end earlier than expected. 15. Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas, nicknamed Agent Zero, was once one of the league's most explosive scorers, earning over $160 million in contracts. However, his fortune dwindled quickly due to extravagant spending and off-court controversies. Arenas reportedly burned through money on luxury cars, massive mansions, and even shark tanks for his home. His infamous locker room gun incident in 2009 not only damaged his career, but also future earnings. Legal battles with ex-partners and child support obligations added to his decline. Although he still earns from appearances and media work, Arenas admitted losing much of his wealth. His downfall is remembered as a mix of ego, bad choices, and the dangers of unchecked financial freedom. 16. Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson, a respected point guard and later an NBA coach, enjoyed a long playing career, earning around $25 million. While not officially bankrupt, Jackson faced serious financial setbacks due to poor investments and fraudulent schemes. Reports surfaced that he was swindled by con artists who promised high returns, costing him millions. Additionally, tax issues and a messy extortion scandal involving leaked personal information hurt his reputation and finances. Although Jackson recovered somewhat through broadcasting and coaching, he never fully regained his earlier wealth. His story demonstrates how even seemingly disciplined athletes can fall victim to financial predators. Jackson remains respected in basketball circles, but his financial missteps serve as a sobering reminder of misplaced trust. 17. Mookie Blaylock. Mookie Blaylock, a defensive standout and former All-Star, earned millions during his NBA career, but life after basketball unraveled quickly. Blaylock battled alcohol addiction and legal problems, which consumed both his health and wealth. In 2013, tragedy struck when Blaylock crashed his car head-on while driving under the influence, killing another driver. He was sentenced to prison, leaving his finances in ruins and his reputation shattered. By then, most of his NBA fortune had already vanished due to reckless spending and mounting debts. Once admired for his tenacious defense, Blaylock's downfall became a story of substance abuse, tragedy, and wasted potential. His legacy now carries both the brilliance of his game and the sadness of his decline. 18. Joe Smith, the number 1 overall pick in the 1995 NBA draft, earned more than $61 million in contracts. However, financial mismanagement and poor decisions left him bankrupt. Smith admitted to overspending on luxury homes, cars, and jewelry, while also falling victim to bad business ventures. Multiple marriages and divorces further drained his fortune. By 2018, he was appearing in low-budget projects and publicly discussing his struggles, just to raise awareness for younger athletes. His bankruptcy filing revealed debts far outweighing his remaining assets. Smith's story is a classic example of how high expectations, fleeting fame, and careless financial habits can erase even a $60 million career, leaving behind regret and lessons about responsibility. 19. Ruben Patterson. Ruben Patterson, nicknamed the Kobe Stopper, earned over $36 million in his NBA career. Despite steady earnings, financial ruin followed retirement. Patterson's personal life was plagued by controversies, including legal issues and off-court troubles that disrupted his focus and credibility. After his playing days, he faced bankruptcy, losing homes and assets while dealing with lawsuits and debt. Patterson's reckless lifestyle choices and poor financial planning left him struggling to support himself and his family. Although he attempted to stay connected to basketball through coaching, his name is more often associated with wasted earnings. Patterson's downfall reflects how personal decisions, combined with a lack of financial discipline, can quickly erase the fortune of a solid NBA career. 20. Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom, a versatile forward and two-time NBA champion with the Lakers, earned over $115 million in his career. However, substance abuse, personal tragedies, and reckless spending left him financially and emotionally drained. Odom struggled with drug addiction, which not only shortened his career, but also led to hospitalizations and a near-death experience in 2015. His highly publicized marriage and divorce from Khloe Kardashian added further financial strain. Lavish spending on luxury homes, cars, and drugs consumed his wealth. Although Odom has since sought rehabilitation and spiritual recovery, his financial collapse remains a cautionary tale. His story underscores how fame, addiction, and lack of discipline can strip away even championship-level success and fortune.